Hi guys, this is GWNAI 83 coming to you guys on a beautiful Monday. I wanted to talk to you guys about dreams and how to chart your dreams out. So, my dream sheet is pretty much on the screen. Okay, so now let's talk about dreams, charting them out. How you're going to plan your dreams out, what your dreams are, and how you want to accomplish them. Of course, now if you have dreams of buying a house, you're going to have to save up money for this house to put down. You're going to have to make sure your credit is straight. You're going to have to make sure your debt to income ratio is good and it's not too high, or you're not going to be able to buy the house. So, I'll give you an example of a current dream that my stepsister has and how I pretty much tried to help her put that together and plan it out. It'll be probably happening in the next 3 years, but it's a good dream. And I pretty much helped her chart it out. So I gave her an example. She wants to move out of the house, out of her parents' house. And um, I think that's great. But when you're not prepared, it's not a good idea. So I told her to pretty much write everything down. Write down how much it's going to cost for where you want to live. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to live in a place that's not affordable, a good place because it's very low affordable. You want to live somewhere where you're safe. I told her to live somewhere close to transportation. That's another great thing to think about if you want to move out. Make sure if you don't have transportation, you're living close to transportation. You're living next to a bus route. You're also living next to, of course, a bus route, a subway station. We live in the metro area, so there are buses everywhere in DC and Maryland and Virginia. And you want to definitely live on a street where there are buses or live close to a metro station. So it's not really hard for you if you want to take a taxi and you got to go to work. I told her to think about as far as her job. Now, is your job secure? Do you have a good job? Will this job be around for the next 3 years while you're trying to get yourself together to move out? You want a permanent position, a permanent job, even if it's a part time job. Let's make sure you've been at that job for a while. Because when you go and apply for apartments, you don't want to be applying for a place for a short amount of time of working at a job, like 6 months. I say try to get a place when you've been in your job for a little bit over 6 months. That's a good idea. I also gave her the suggestion as far as writing down, when you move, you're going to want cable, you're going to want the internet, you're going to need to eat, you're going to have to pay for getting your clothes washed and cleaned. How much is that going to cost? You need to calculate all of that into your little chart of moving out. So, those are just some things I told her to think about. So, that is just an example as far as her dream. I told her to try to do it within the next 3 years. My suggestion for her, because in this area, it depends where she wants to live. I told her to get a car. She can, however, take the bus or the metro, but I think it's just better if she saved up now for a car and then in 3 years move out. I think it's best for her to wait until she graduates from college. Now, you can move out while you're in college. I moved out while I was in college because I was in school forever. So, why move out? Wait until I graduate? No. I wanted to move out and I did. I had a good job and I still have that job, but I had a very good job. So I knew I could afford it. Just make sure it's affordable, and I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to your dreams. Make sure you can make it happen. You don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. As far as her moving out, I told her make sure you have your money together, have a down payment, a deposit. I'm not a down payment, I'm sorry, that's a house. A deposit for an apartment is a big deal, so have a deposit ready. That's usually what, $350 in this area. That deposit is important. Make sure you have good credit built up for, especially when you try to do electric, because they will have you put down a deposit for that as well. Those are the things you have to think about when you want to move. So that was just one example. I'll give you an example of something that I did for a couple dreams that I had. So I definitely had the dream to move out as well, and I did follow through with that. I had a dream to graduate from college, well, to pass my review for art school. And it was a big deal because that's the only way when you go to the Art Institute of Washington you can get out. You have to pass the big review. So I decided to pretty much work my butt off. For our school that I graduated from, you have to complete a portfolio, right? And the portfolio is a big deal. It's something that's not really simple, but it's a lot of work. Now, it has to be A plus work, because if it's not A plus work, you will not graduate. So I busted my butt. I pretty much signed up for it at the last minute. It took me, what, a month and a half. I modeled 2 or 3 environments in a month and a half. Modeled textures, light. I did the camera. I set everything up and I showed it to Miss Wu, who was like my one of my teachers for 3D, and she pretty much said it looked great. That's how I knew I was ready to graduate. So I pushed myself. I actually stayed work late to work on my stuff. I actually did not go out on the weekend. That's sacrifice. You got to sacrifice for your dreams too. I sacrificed my weekends having fun. I had no fun for a whole month and a half because I really wanted this more than anything. And when you want your dreams, you'll do anything for them. So I busted my butt. I worked hard. I bought books online on how to do things that I didn't know how to do because I figured that was the best way for me to learn. I pushed myself. I pushed myself to the limit that I've never pushed myself to before. So that just showed me that I can do anything. If I could pass my review in a month and a half and not really be too prepared, but I show myself that I have what it takes to get it done. So pretty much that's what I'm saying. As far as a dream, especially if you want to graduate from school, you've just got to bust your butt, stay focused so you can get it done. Don't worry about going and hanging out with your friends. Now, friends who are already done with school will definitely understand. People who are not in school will not understand when you have class work and you got homework to do, projects to do, and they want to go out and party and go to the club. I mean, have your priorities together, of course, but I still think it's great if you make your dreams happen by, charting them out. Definitely dream big. If you want to go to Paris, save up for it. Now that's something you got to really save up for. So you better start now if you want to go in the next year or in a year and a half. And like for me, I want to go on a cruise when I turn 30. And that's not that far away. But I'm going to have to save my money up so I can go on my cruise for my 30th birthday. But pretty much I just gave my age away, but that's okay. I hope I gave you guys good examples on how to work on your dreams by charting them out. And I give you guys one more example. As far as charting out your dreams, like writing them down, I did make a list of my dreams and I did write them all down. I do have them. I'll have them pop up on the screen again, like right about now. So I'll have them pop back up on the screen for you guys so you can see the dreams that I have accomplished. I have not accomplished everything I want to do. I still want to buy a house, but I know that once I pay Sally Mae down a little bit, I will afford my big, beautiful townhouse that I want. And, I think I can give you one more example of a dream which I was supposed to do when I wanted to buy a nice car. It wasn't really a nice car, I wanted a better car. But I knew what I had to do. I pretty much did all my research to make that dream come true. I researched the car that I wanted, cars I wanted. I wanted to make sure that, I was going to find the car that I wanted. I knew how much it cost. Now, I bought a couple of cars. This is my third or fourth car. And yeah, that's pretty bad. But they broke down or they got in an accident, stuff like that. So I really wanted a car. I have pretty good credit and I really wanted to have that car. So I pretty much had to have money in the bank so I could put down a deposit. Putting down a deposit for the car is the best thing to do. Putting down a deposit will help you with your car payment. If you could put down at least $2,000, $3,000, your car payment will be dented down. You won't pay that much. So I had to make sure I had my loan first, which I kind of did not do, but I was so confident in my credit score with Dave Bell. I'm not being cocky. I worked really hard for my credit score that I do have today, even with all the credit cards and stuff that I opened up. I just make sure I paid everything on time. But buying my car, I just knew what I could and I couldn't afford. So when I went in there, I went in there with a price. And I wasn't going to cross that price. I wasn't going to be paying more than the amount that I wanted to pay. And if they wouldn't take it, then I would walk. So that's just an example how I got my car. And I did get the car that I wanted. I got the color I wanted, and it was all about negotiating with these people from the dealership, not settling on the first car because that's what I would have done in the past. And my father will agree with you that I have settled on a couple of cars with him not listening, being stubborn. But I really wanted the vehicle that I have now. It's beautiful, it's brand new. I'm so blessed and so lucky because I don't think in the past when I was younger, I would have never even tried. And today, I had so much confidence when I walked in there. And I think that's what most dealerships do notice. And especially when you know you really want something. I'm rambling. Especially with your dreams, you know what you want. You do your research. You write it all down, make sure you can afford it, and then you work towards it. That's pretty much how you make your dreams happen. You bust your butt. You do whatever you have to do. Either you push people to the side if they're getting in your way from accomplishing your dream, because people will stop you from your dream. And you do whatever you have to do. It's good to have support when you're going for your dreams. Find people who have done what you've done or what you want to do. Find people who have done what you want to do. Like, I think the best thing when you want to buy a house is talk to somebody who already bought a house. When you want to buy a brand new car, talk to somebody who already bought a brand new car. If you want to move out, talk to somebody who already moved out. Like, that's the best research you can do for yourself is talk to someone who already went through what you want to go through or went and did what you already want to do. So that's my examples on making your dreams come true, especially if you want to go to college. Just work hard in high school, and when you get out and you graduate, bust your butt while you're in high school so you can have the best grades possible when you want to go to college. So that's my example of making your dreams come true. This is GWNAI. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.